What's up, everybody, and welcome to another week of Power Rankings with IBM Watson. I'm Reinforced, I'm Boomed, I'm here again. Got the Preds wrong on Sunday. That's fine, okay? Because we got an extremely exciting week of Overwatch ahead of us with the May Melee, of course. And finally, we're getting some cross-division gameplay. How about that, huh? APAC teams going up against the NA teams. This is going to be phenomenal. I'm so excited for this weekend. And we got some exciting power rankings to go through with IBM Watson to perhaps, preview the weekend a little bit. Who are the favorites? Who are the underdogs? Well, we'll find out in this week's episode as we take a closer look at the 4 teams who ultimately qualified. Now, taking a look at the team rankings for the top 3, I mean, it's quite obvious. We got the Florida Mayhem, we got the Dallas Fuel, and the Chengdu Hunters, benefiting greatly from their performances in the knockout matches that happened on Sunday. And Florida Mayhem on top, that's a bit of a surprise to me, I gotta say. Obviously, they were extremely good. They beat the Toronto Defiant, and they beat the Washington Justice. Florida Mayhem overall, their double bubble compositions are just fantastic. And what we've seen from Yaki and BQB as well, this is a team that really has the chance to actually win the entire May Melee, so I'm really looking forward to that. Now, where do we find the Shanghai Dragons? Number 7 for the Shanghai Dragons, and this is such an interesting storyline going into this May Melee tournament, because Shanghai Dragons was a team that a lot of people, me included, were criticizing for not being really as good as they were last year. Last year, of course, they were dominant in the APAC region. They just smashed people. They were always competitive in the tournament. Started off kind of rough. Didn't look too great, played some questionable compositions and a horrible Reinhardt composition on Eichenwalde against the Chengdu Hunters. I think that one sticks out to a lot of people in their memories. Well, they're number 7. They ultimately qualified after beating Philadelphia Fusion in an incredible series. Please, I urge you, go back and watch the Shanghai Dragons versus the Philadelphia Fusion series. It was so entertaining, back and forth. Ultimately, though, spoilers. Yeah, I mean, I've already said it, haven't I? Shanghai Dragons, they won the match. Yeah. So really looking forward to see what we'll see from the Shanghai Dragons. Obviously, their championship caliber. Can't wait to see more from them this upcoming weekend. Now, taking a look at the player rankings, a lot of change up. We can see in the top 5, a lot of plus 20 movements here. So obviously it's still early days in the season. Obviously this is going to stabilize throughout the season as we get more data to play with, and IBM Watson is going to rate the entire season across the board, and we'll actually see who stands out consistently among other players. Now, taking a look at the top 2, Gangnam Jin and OG in the top 2. That's really exciting to me. Gangnam Jin, of course, flex support player who's perhaps been a bit underrated. Florida Man, they're just so consistent across the board. I mean, they got OG at number 2, of course, who's a great Winston player and can play aggressively. We also saw some great Reinhardt moments from him. But then they also have a really solid backline, and people forget about that sometimes. Yeah, Yaki and BQB, amazing DPS as well, but Gangnam Jin in the backline continues to perform, and it's really making a showing in the player rankings by IBM Watson. So very exciting stuff. Now, following up on the top 2, lots of Dallas Fuel. Now, Dallas Fuel, wow, what a Sunday for them, huh? Steamrolling the San Francisco Shock, which a lot of people didn't expect, and then after that, they also take down the Houston Outlaws to top it off. Wow. That means that Fielder is going to be number 3 in our rankings. We got Fearless at number 4 and Hanbin at number 6 in our player rankings by IBM Watson. So they really just turned it up a notch. They just stepped on the gas pedal. They just played so fast. They set time records on Eichenwalde and Blizzard World against 2 top-tier opponents. So incredible to watch. Now, I do want to investigate a little bit where the Shanghai Dragons actually come in on our player ranking. So most of the Shanghai Dragons players, they don't show up until number 17, 18, and 19. They're so far back. That's going to be Lip, Isayaki, and Void for you. So obviously, the Shanghai Dragons players, they're not really rated that highly because of their qualifier games where they suffered a little bit, but they squeaked through. So if they get a couple of wins, I'm sure they'll catch up and rise further in the standings. Now, one team we haven't really touched on so far is the Chengdu Hunters. So I think it's worth a closer look to examine a little bit. If we take a look at our damage rankings, we can see that Leave is at number 2 in the damage rankings, and Jinmu has fallen a little bit. If you tune into the former episodes of the power rankings, we saw that Jinmu was an early contender for huge performances, specifically in week 1. Well, Leave has taken his spot, climbing in the rankings further, and finds himself at number 2. I'm really looking forward to see if they'll continue to play this Pharah wrecking ball type of composition, or maybe they'll slow things down a bit. We've seen else on the Sigma, which means that they peel back a little bit, they draw their opponents in, and then Gaga can come in on the wrecking ball and pile drive the opponents as they move in, which really helps Leave and Jinmu. But there's still this sort of chaotic team that likes to play the wrecking ball and are a bit all over the place. So how they're going to fare against the Dallas Fuel, I can't wait to see that, because Dallas Fuel, they're a bit, faster paced, they play straightforward, they dive, they go in. Chengdu Hunters, can you really dive them? I mean, maybe you can, like, I don't know, run it like Nisha or something, but it's tough. It's tough. If he plays the Brig, that is. It's tough. So, very exciting stuff from our team rankings and our player rankings going into this week. I can't wait to see more Overwatch this upcoming weekend. We finally got some playoff Overwatch back in the mix. Really exciting stuff. So I hope you all tune in this weekend and enjoy the show as much as I will, because honestly, I mean, the level of Overwatch we're seeing, the upsets, the boomed Preds, still haunting me to this day. People in the comments last week, they were like in the comments like, hey, let Reinforce sleep. What do you mean? I'm getting plenty of time to sleep. I just can't stay asleep. I just wake up in the middle of the night, horrified by my wrong Preds. It's not fair. Anyway, it's no one's fault. Maybe I should just Pred better. Who knows? Anyway, that's been it for the power rankings by IBM Watson here. Moving into the May Melee tournament this upcoming weekend. So excited for the changes we've seen this past week, and ultimately, after the May Melee, we're obviously going to do an episode where we can recap the May Melee and take a look at, after one tournament's worth of play, qualifier, knockouts, and ultimately the playoff matches, who are going to be the players, who are going to be the teams that find themselves on top. Really excited to follow more of this data. If you want to access the data yourself, you can find IBM Watson rankings updated every Monday on the overwatchleague.com website. And if not, I'll always be here on Wednesdays providing you updates myself in video form every Wednesday on the Overwatch League YouTube channel. So make sure you like the video, subscribe to the video, and you'll obviously get notifications when we go live with the live broadcast and the matches, but also when you get cool videos of me. That could be cool sometimes. And also the players have their own videos. I'm not quite as exciting as the players, but I hope that you guys still like these videos. Please like the video. Take care, everybody. So excited for this upcoming week of Overwatch. I love you all, and I'll see you here next week for more power rankings with IBM Watson. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you guys next week.